the third section of the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So, which is the verses from 12 to 18. So, in the beginning, Krishna explained how he is unknowable. However, we can know him in some way. And what is the way to know him? Is through devotion. And that's what he explained in verses between 8 11. So there is a very interesting connection between the first and the second section that we saw in this chapter. Because if you see the first section, he keeps saying, oh, nobody knows me, nobody knows me, nobody knows me. Neither the sages, nor the demigods, nor Brahma, nor the sons of Brahma, nobody can know me actually. So like you feel like, okay, if nobody can know you, so then what's the point? Like, how can I know? I'm so small. So, but that's why Krishna starts the 8th verse that we saw with a very nice understanding. Like, what can we know about the unknowable? That aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. This much we can know about him, that everything comes from him, that he is the source of everything. And because we are so small and he is the source, we may not be able to fully know him. However, he says, if you really understand the import of what does it mean to be the source of everything, Krishna says, iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Then that person, they'll become enlightened. They will also develop emotions for Krishna. Okay, Krishna is unknowable, but he is knowable through devotion. And as Mother Indra said, we understand a little about Krishna and we engage in devotion. So devotion is the way to know more about Krishna. We can never, with our own intelligence, understand Krishna. But love is beyond intelligence. Love is more than intelligence. So Krishna says, if you love me, you know me. So the best way to know Krishna is to love him. So that's what he brings out in this verses 8 to 11 that we saw last week. So now this week 12 to 18, Arjuna is going to explain his realization of whatever Krishna shared so far in this chapter and the chapters before. Because until this point, Arjuna has never summarized what he understood from whatever Krishna shared. And then he inquires more about Krishna's opulences, which relates to the topic of this particular chapter directly. The questions in this particular section will actually lead to that central topic of this particular chapter. Vibhuti Yoga in Sanskrit, or opulences of the Absolute in English. What was the content of Chatushloki? What is the context and why are we seeing that? Because the more you understand the context, the more you will be appreciate the following verses that's going to come. They are very important verses 10.12 and 13. So to understand the context of why they are there and how they are placed shows the importance of bhakti and also how to understand Bhagavad Gita. And that is why it is very important for us to understand the context of these coming verses. So Krishna said in the first verse of this chapter, I'll give you the most confidential knowledge. And then he went on to reveal what? The Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, which is considered as the essence of Bhagavad Gita. He already shared in 9th chapter about bhakti, manmana bhava mad bhakto, that become my devotee, and he said patram pushpam phalam toyam. So he revealed his heart in the previous chapter in the form of the revealing bhakti yoga. But why is this even more confidential knowledge? Because he is saying, if you can only know me through love, through devotion. And that he revealed in the Chatushloki Gita. So now Arjuna is going to confirm his understanding. So how important it is, you see, Krishna is saying, I give you the most confidential knowledge, and he gives it. And then Arjuna is now giving an understanding of whatever he heard from Krishna from the Chatushloki Gita. So Arjuna's statement is the most important verses of the Bhagavad Gita from the perspective of a reader. What should be our understanding of Krishna? If we read the whole Gita and then say something which is against what Arjuna's understanding, which is confirmed by Krishna, then we are not really understanding Gita well. So that is why these two verses are very important. This should be the right understanding of any listener of Bhagavad Gita. 12 and 13, Arjuna says, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. You are eternal. You are the pure and absolute truth. And it's not just my opinion, Krishna. It is the opinion of the great sages like Asita, Devala, Vyasa, and Narada. And now you just declared it to me. But that that same opinion, what I'm sharing with you now, is also supported by the great saints and authorities on the scriptures. And you're just now declaring it to me. So, and thank you for that. So, that is the mood of Arjuna. So, we're going to go into the verses, the Sanskrit, the word to word meanings, so that we get more understanding of this particular verse, because this is very important. So now Arjuna is the understanding that Krishna gave him. So he is like kind of reflecting back. The right way of hearing is you reflect back, what did you hear? So this is Arjuna's reflection of Krishna's teachings, especially in this chapter, but in general, so far of all the chapters, like Krishna has spoken around like pretty much 400 verses by this time. Out of these 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, is somewhere like 350, 375, 400 verses he has spoken. And after hearing all of that, this is Arjuna's first reflection. So that's why it carries a lot of weight. Vacha param brahma parandhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam vibhum ahustvam rishayas sarve devarshirnaradastatha asito devalo vyasa swayam chaiva bravishime. So Arjuna is saying, he's calling Krishna as Param Brahma, means he's calling Krishna as Supreme Brahman. Because there are a lot of philosophies where people can say, what do you call that? Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, I am that, they say. So their understanding is, I am that Brahman. But here Krishna is being called as Parabrahman. So he's not just Brahma, he's Parabrahma. His soul is Brahma, but Krishna is Parabrahma. So that Mahavakya is not Tattvam Param Brahma. So it says Brahmasmi. Brahmasmi. It does not say Param Brahmasmi. So the Vedic aphorism is Brahmasmi. That means I am spirit soul. It does not mean I am God. A lot of people by mistake, they say they misunderstand that, oh, Brahmasmi means I am Brahma and Krishna is also Brahma. So I am God. I am God. It is saying that the Prime Minister is Indian. I am Indian. So I am Prime Minister. Like, I can call myself an American, then Trump will arrest me. But that's why I'm saying like Indian, because if I say I'm Indian and the Prime Minister says I'm Indian, that does not mean I am Prime Minister. So it's just because Krishna is Brahma and we are Brahma, so that because does not mean we are Krishna, because Krishna has a special quality. He is Parabrahma. So that is why first thing that Arjuna clarifies is, you are Parabrahma. You are not like the soul. You are great. And then Param Dhama means you are the supreme abode. Abode of what? He is the abode of all love. He is the abode of all care. He is the abode of all concern for the conditioned souls. He is the abode of pure love. And Pavitram. And he is not just like many people think, oh, that impersonal Brahman, the supreme impersonal Brahman, has temporarily taken a human form in the form of Krishna and Rama and Varaha and Narasimha. No, that is totally wrong. Here he is saying, Pavitram, you are pure. And you are not just pure, you are Paramam, you are transcendental, you are beyond the three modes. You are not just not affected by the three modes, you are beyond the three modes. Bhavan is a very respectful way of saying someone superior. Bhavan. So here Krishna is being offered that respect by Arjuna. Bhavan. Purusham. You are not just some impersonal entity. You are not just impersonal Brahman. You are actually Purusham. You are a person. You're not just any person, because I can think, oh, I'm also a person. So how can God be a person like me? I'm going to die and I have this body which gives me a lot of miseries and all that. He's saying he's Shashvatam and Divyam. He is a eternal individual and he is a transcendental individual. His body form is not like our form. There is no difference between his body and soul. So it's a spiritual form. And who is he? Adi Devam. He is the origin of gods. He's not like, oh, that means all other gods are also like that. No, we are specifically speaking about Krishna. He is because Adi Deva, the demigods are all like still in the material realm. Leaving aside Lord Shiva is a very separate tattva. Like Brahma, Indra, Vayu, all of these demigods, Krishna is Adi Deva. He is the origin of all gods. And oh, Adi Deva means where did you come from? You are the origin of all gods. Where did you come from? He is unborn, Ajam. He is eternal. He is unborn. And he is the origin of everything. And oh, yeah, the soul is also Ajam, right? In the second chapter, if you see, the soul is also called as Aja. Means unborn. The soul is also unborn and eternal. But soul is Anu. Krishna is Vibhu, means he is infinite and the souls are infinitesimal. So Krishna, Arjuna is so strategically answering all the exceptions that people can take in order to prove that the soul is equal to God or Krishna is a normal human being. No, he leaves no space for speculation in this verse. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. And okay, somebody may say, oh, it's just Arjuna's opinion. He's just being nice to Krishna, right? Like you're just before someone who says, I'm the supreme, so you don't want to take risk and just glorify him and get away. No, he's not just doing anything, any flattery here. It's not just me, Krishna. Even the great authorities are confirming this conclusion. Ahustvam Rishayas Sarve. Even all the rishis are saying, what kind of rishis? Devarshir, Naradastata. The Devarshi Narada, Asito, Devalo, Vyasa, all of these great personalities are saying, Swayam Shaiva Ravishime, and you are personally confirming it. They have told me, and you are personally confirming, and it is my realization. That's why I'm here boldly declaring that you are the Supreme Brahman Paramdhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhu. Mood of a true devotee. That is the other topic that we will be touching upon based on the verses 14 to 18. Though I chose to just call it Arjuna's realization, which is the verse 12 and 13, which I find is very important. The mood of Arjuna that he is going to take from verse 14 to 18 is the real mood that we all need to possess in bhakti. So it's a very important section from 14 to 18. And I'm not going to rush the rest of the chapter because usually before, say, for example, before 10 years, if I was teaching this, I'd be like, wow, 10th chapter came. It's a big list of so many things. I'll just tell all the participants to read the list by themselves and then I can complete it. Like I will see this as an opportunity to rush through usually. But now I'm able to, as I'm trying to practice, I'm able to see how important this particular section is, especially the verses 19 to 42, how it can transform our life the quality of our life in such a drastic way. So we are going to take it slow and not rush and go through the next 19 to 40 also slowly. If Arjuna did not ask the question he asks in these verses, especially 16 and 17, we will not have had the fortune of hearing Krishna explaining verses 19 onwards until 42 or 43. So that's why it's again very important. This surely shows the mood of Arjuna and what should be a mood of a devotee. Yes, Madharendra.
I think also Prabhupada says in one of the purports that it's not that Arjuna doesn't understand, but he does it for us, the layman.
Yes. He is literally out of compassion on all of us. He is asking. And then this chapter very, very well connects with the chapter universal form. There are deeper understandings on why the universal form followed this. So in verse 14, after describing his realization of who Krishna is, Arjuna says, I fully accept all that you say as true. I fully accept. So he's like really surrendering at this point. Some of the acharyas say Bhagavad Gita actually ends with this verse. Bhagavad Gita is completed in this verse. They could have just stopped here and say, okay, let's fight because the battlefield is like, we are standing on a battlefield and the war is imminent. Let's just like turn our attention to the immediate. However, Krishna and Arjuna clarified few other topics for our sake. Everything else that's going to follow from now on in the Bhagavad Gita is more relevant to all of us than to Arjuna's immediate situation, because Arjuna's confusion has been clarified. I fully accept all that you say as true, Krishna. Neither demigods nor demons can understand you. Only you know yourself, O Supreme Lord, the origin and Lord of all beings. Because you are the origin, others cannot know you, and I totally agree. However, Can you please explain, Krishna, in detail your divine opulences by which you pervade the world? Because Krishna told in 9.4, if you have a Bhagavad Gita with you, you can check the translation of 9.4, that Krishna did say that how he pervades this whole universe, material creation. So in verse 9.4, the translation was, by me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So it is a very fantastic kind of a concept that he is a person, but he is pervading everything. So Arjuna is like, wow, I would like to know, how does that work? Please explain in detail your divine opulences by which you pervade the worlds. And how can I think of you constantly and know you? How is this verse 17? How can I think of you constantly and know you relates to Chatushloki? How do you think this relates to Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita? It's a very natural follow up to the Chatushloki. Yes, Purva.
Because Bandha is the relation of the soul with Krishna. Abhidheya is the devotional service, the path through which we attain the relationship, and then Prayojana would be the fruits of our devotional service. So
Okay.
that's why the 17th, the question is.
How is it connecting to the 17? Your understanding of the three terms are right, but think logically, how is it connecting with these verses?
Yes, because if we know that we are connected to Krishna, then obviously
Krishna?
we would want to know
No
how
more.
to process
Remember
this
him.
connection. Yes, to
Because
remember
by
him.
remembering him more, as given in the verse 9, Abhideya process, we will become enlightened more in
Yes.
devotion. So for that, we need to remember him. But how to remember you? If I don't know how to remember you, how will I remember you? So that's why he is asking, how can I remember you? Makes sense, right? Thank you. That really connects well what you said. Parnika?
Prabhu, I think it's answered, but basically, I was just thinking as a basically question and answer, really. Like, if you think about it, like Arjuna's literally saying, how do I get to know you? And Krishna's like, yeah, no one really knows me. This is the process. There you go.
Like if you keep saying no one knows me, then it's very frustrating, right? I want to know you, but nobody knows me, don't worry. But only if you know, you will become a devotee. And like it's like a kind of an endless loop. That's why Arjuna is saying, I do understand, you only you know yourself, you are very great, you are the origin of everything. But please explain me in detail, give me some details so that I can actually practically remember you. Don't just keep telling me abstract things that I cannot know you and you are unknowable. I understand, but make it easy for me. I would love to remember you, but please make it easy for me. So how many of us think like that? Like when we think of the process of remembering Krishna and like, how do I actually remember on a daily basis? Like I understand, but how does it work in my daily day, in my busy daily life, like amidst my work, amidst all the things that I need to do, all the responsibilities that I have as a student, as a mother, as a son, or as a daughter, as an employee, as a whatever. Like we have so many kind of needs and roles and responsibilities. How do I remember you, Krishna? How is it possible? So thank you, Parnika, for bringing it out. Yes. Oh, Krishna, please describe your opulences further. I never tire of hearing the nectar of your words. I have heard already 400 some verses, so don't think, oh, I'm just bored. No, please explain me in detail your opulences further, because I never tire of hearing. So he's giving confidence. I'm not tired, please speak. So it gives confidence to Krishna to share. If we don't understand all these connections, we won't be able to appreciate the list when Krishna gives it. It's not like Krishna boasting by telling a huge list of who he is. It's not that. He's especially saying he's becoming vulnerable. Someone who's rich won't tell anyone and everyone all they have. They will only reveal it to their closest people. And here Krishna is actually revealing all his opulences in even in a small way, but it's a very lengthy one for us. And he's becoming vulnerable in saying that. That is only because Arjuna has intervened on our behalf. Otherwise, we don't have that level of intimacy with Krishna. So he does not need to reveal it to us at this stage. But he is revealing because Arjuna has intervened on our behalf and petitioning on our behalf. So it was Arjuna's greatness and intimacy with Krishna that attracted these details. So we have got a free, sneak peek. So we should not take it very, lightly. So that's why I'm clarifying the context and gradually easing into this topic. So Krishna spoke the Chatushloki, Arjuna gave his understanding and realization, and now he is asking more. Krishna, give me more details. This is not enough for me to remember you. So Arjuna is expressing his realization and he supports it with authority. It's not just Arjuna's mental concoction. No, he supports it with opinions from Narada, Vyasa, and all of them. And then because he has tasted a little bit, he wants to understand more. Okay, if I want to summarize this whole section in one line, it would be knowing Krishna as the Supreme awakens a longing to hear and relish his glories. Arjuna is asking, oh, please tell me more. So if you really understand how great Krishna is, it should give us a longing. It should create an eagerness in our heart, a thirst, longing to hear and relish Krishna's glories. So that's the whole understanding of this section. How can I actually remember Krishna amidst my busy life? So these are some of the thoughts that I'm having. You can add on to it. We can make intentions to offer. Say, for example, I'm going to prepare a slides for this session. I can say a small prayer and offer it to Krishna. And if I'm starting the class, I can offer a prayer. And if it could be waking up from bed, going to bed, and all these kind of junctions we have. That's what in people who get second initiated, we have this Gayatri. That means 3 junctions of the day from dawn to like the day, the sun, and then the mid sun, and then the evening sun, which brings in night. So on all these transitions, we are supposed to meditate on the Supreme Lord. Similarly, we all could practice that. The most crucial, bigger junctions of your day, you can choose some intentions. That is why we have this Vaishnava culture of offering prayers before taking food. So before taking prasad, we don't just jump on it and devour it. But we are like supposed to just meditate on Krishna and become sober and accept it, because to kind of set that intention of connecting with Krishna and remembering him. And this is one of my ideas. And the other one is seeing Krishna in our work, because the talents that we have and the results we get, good or bad. It's not that only good results come from Krishna and bad results come from our managers. No, good and bad both comes from Krishna, and it can actually help us orient ourselves emotionally and mentally well. So recognize that your own talents and the results that come because of that talents and your endeavor also come from Krishna. So in that way also we can remember Krishna and take conscious breaks. If I could have a reminder of a minute in 1 hour, every waking hour, if 1 minute I can take a break and then become more conscious and connect with Krishna and get back to whatever I'm doing. Most of the times it's very hard, unless it is a physical reminder like an alarm clock ringing. It's very difficult for me to become conscious. However, if anyone can take any kind of breaks, that it could be 1, 2, it could be multiple, it could be hourly, it could be once in 6 hours, whatever. Short breaks consciously you can take apart from your daily sadhana. Just take a small break. It could be a 30-second break to just silently remember Krishna and again connect back to him. And the other thing that can really help us, having a quote or a picture of Krishna or a intention that how I want to remember Krishna, that can also help. I would connect certain activities to certain devotional things. Say, for example, this is the bhajan I will sing while doing laundry, walking to a railway station. So then you will get to remember many bhajans and you will also get to revise them very regularly. And you will also realize how many times you forget to follow that routine. It can become an inspiration. Oh, last time I forgot. Next time when I enter my washroom, I'm going to remember this bhajan, like that. So these kind of things can actually make us more and more Krishna conscious. And there is also this one thing that I've tried, but I have not tried many times. But this idea is a good idea. You can remember one name of Krishna and keep meditating on it, like Muralidhar. Like, what does it mean? What is the meaning of that word Muralidhara? So the rest of the time, whenever you have a break, like you're sitting in a car and passively traveling, or you're sitting in a bus or taking a subway, and you have empty mind, then you can think, okay, today's name for the day is Murlidhar, or name for the week is Murlidhar. So what does it mean? So you meditate more and more on that. What does it mean to be called Jagannath? What does it mean to be called Sham Sundar? What does it mean to be? So Krishna has unlimited names. So choose things and make plans actively so that your mind can come. Only when you have a plan, your mind will come to it. If you won't plan, your mind will go everywhere and it will make you tired. So its mind is like a horse. So the carts driven by horses would have covering on their eyes. They can only see the road in the front. Otherwise, the nature of horses is they will look everywhere. So then what will happen? We will meet with an accident. Similarly, our minds has this nature of going everywhere except where it needs to be. So if you make plans, so then the mind actually will have a structure to it. Okay, so train your mind. Don't just give it a free pass to just think of anything and go anywhere and do anything that it wants. Then it will cause you trouble. So for the mind also, we need some blinders. Give it a plan how it can remember Krishna. So if you won't take active interest in remembering Krishna, then nothing can improve our devotion. So we are the ones who is supposed to make plan to remember Krishna. So set your intentions, see how you can, what are the talents that Krishna has given you, what kind of, and how you can connect to Krishna, how you can pause during your busy day and make small connections with Krishna, conscious connections, and also what kind of reminders you can have, what kind of lifestyle habits you can choose which can help you remember Krishna easily. So these are my 2 cents. So if anybody has additional ideas that you use, please share. You can share it on the WhatsApp group, but actively take some initiatives to remember Krishna. So what are the lessons that we can learn from this section, from Arjuna's realization and his mood? Recognizing Krishna's supremacy is very important. And the test of genuine devotion is, do we long to hear about Krishna? Because genuine devotion inspires a thirst to hear more about Krishna's divine opulences and glories. So then we can test ourselves. Do I have a taste for hearing more about Krishna? So on the topic of taste, I just had this thing. So test your longing. Take a taste test. How many of you do a taste test? Like when you cook something new, when you go to a mall, they give you taste samples a little bit to hook you. So like that, take a taste test in terms of regularly assess, okay, our own spiritual advancement, checking how much we long for Krishna and how that longing actually helps us move away from worldly cravings. Have a honest assessment of what is your taste or the current level, and don't be discouraged by it if the score is low. And then do some things to increase that taste. Activate your taste through purification. So cultivate taste for Krishna by engaging in bhakti practices. With that prayer, Krishna, please help me attract my mind towards you. And so that naturally we can awaken our spiritual longing for Krishna. And then share and recall experiences with your like-minded spiritual seekers, friends. Like recollect past spiritual experiences. Have you ever been to Vrindavan? If not, you can make a plan. But if you were if not, you can at least go to New Vrindavan. So what are your devotional experiences? Do you remember any kirtan where you had an amazing experience? Any particular talk or meeting a devotee or a darshan or a kirtan or a bhajan or a place where you went which really inspired you? Something that really inspired you in devotion. Remember that, recollect that. And the people that you inspired you in devotion, remember them, express gratitude, and connect with other friends, and then share with them. Like this week, I remembered that my trip to Vrindavan, it was so spiritual. I took darshan of so many deities, and I committed there that I'll become more devotional. I haven't actually worked on it, but the experience that I received in Vrindavan was really amazing. I wish I can remember that more and relive it and go there and take more inspiration. So something like that. Recollect and share your experiences and transform your focus. So consciously shift your focus from material attachments to relishing spiritual things. Consciously understand and accept that these are my attachments and bring it to Krishna, saying, oh, these are my attachments. I wish I could focus my attention away from this. I know this is not helping me, but I'm not having the strength to give them up. Krishna, please give me the strength to move away from these things and towards you gradually. Healthy things could be kept and see how it can be spiritualized. Unhealthy things needs to go. They need to be given up. But the strength will come from remembering Krishna. And then understand that lack of taste is not permanent. So we can develop taste. It's within our ability, nature to develop taste devotionally. By consistent practice and conscious recollection and reflection and devotion, we can awaken and strengthen our longing for Krishna. If it is not there, we can awaken it. But if it is already there, to some extent, we can strengthen and increase it. And that is the whole process of devotion. So test your longing, activate it, share it and recollect it, relive it, and transform what is coming in your way in being able to relive it and connect it and strengthen it. Whatever is coming in your way, try to gradually let it go. Make plans for it. If you can go overnight, give up something, make plans for it. And also embrace growth, because the lack of taste is not permanent. That is not our original state. Our original state is we have full of taste for Krishna and we need to go there. And our material attachments, there is a better way to deal with them, and that's what is going to come in the next section 19 to 40. How do I on a daily basis deal with my attractions in this world, the things that distracts me, attracts me, pulls me? How do I deal with that? That we will see in Vibhuti Yoga the next week. So the reflection for this week is, how can I cultivate a genuine longing to hear and remember Krishna? How can I cultivate that? Summarizing, here Arjuna is sharing his realizations between the verses 12 to 18. Specifically in verses 12 and 13, he shared how Krishna is the supreme person, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum. So he shared his understanding how Krishna is the supreme, he is pure and he is transcendental. He is a person. He is not just any person, but he is eternally a transcendental person who is the source of everything. And then he, taking our side on our behalf, Arjuna expresses, Krishna, I do understand that you are unknowable. Only you can know you fully. However, I would like you to more than that much, that you are unknowable. I would like to know you more about you than just knowing that you are unknowable. So please share in detail some of your opulences, some of your glories, so that I can actually know you better. And in that way, I can develop my devotional attachment to you. So in that way, he expresses the attitude of a mood of a devotee, and he expresses his realization with respect and by supporting the authority of Narada and Vyasa and other sages. And then he expresses his longing to Krishna, because it is the test of our devotion, how much we have any longing, because genuine longing actually makes us know Krishna's glories more. And that is why here we are trying to reflect in the coming week, how can we cultivate some amount of genuine longing to hear about Krishna. Make plans for it. Bhakti is not a calling, but it is also a cultivation. So it's not just it. Whenever it becomes very natural for me to remember Krishna, I'll remember. Bhakti is a calling. However, it is also a conscious cultivation. So this week, let us meditate how can we consciously cultivate a genuine longing to hear and remember Krishna on a daily basis. So make some vows. If you're not chanting, you can chant one round or you can chant 54 mantras. So do something. Wherever you are, try how you can become better. And I'll also do that for my own self with all of your blessings. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hare Hare Bol. See you all next week. Thank you very much.